A major challenge in implementing SB 375 is to ask local policymakers and politicians to follow regional guidance, since cities' general plans are not required to be in alignment with the SCS. Because land use changes take time, it will also be difficult for politicians to convey the benefits of these new growth patterns to their constituents. Finally, there may be opportunities for local general plans to encourage more rational and sustainable growth if these processes are revised.
One of the greatest challenges with this is, as we saw here, we're looking in a planning context toward 2050. From a politician's point of view, that might as well be the extent of the Jurassic era. So the issue of what am I going to do now? What am I going to do tomorrow? And realizing that particularly this whole notion of land use change is a long-term objective. This isn't something that you're going to see massive change in the next 5 years.
Cities will need to change their general plans for SB 375 to work, although there is no mandate in the bill. Having a regional perspective on long-term growth will help localities plan more rationally for their future today.
When you look at local land use plans, there are plenty of them around the Bay Area that are 20, 30 years old. They don't go out very far. They don't go out to 2020, 2035, 2050, looking to see what our land use pattern should be in the future. Some of them don't go out very far at all. So when we think about these plans as sort of set in stone, there's a lot of opportunities for them to change over time.
Now, a key thing about SB 375, as complex as it is that it is permissive. Nobody's required to do anything aside from the deadlines and procedural process requirements.
The editorial writers have just taken leave of their senses that this bill by itself is going to revolutionize how transportation and land use are integrated. It's not going to come close. It's going to take a good first step, and that's important in and of itself.
To ensure the efficacy of SB 375, resources and access to information will be needed at all levels of government planning, especially in the cities. Incentives encouraging more conscientious development must be strong and understood by politicians, planners, and developers.
But I believe that planners are the only visionaries we have in government, and we don't give them enough credibility. But the reality is, planners don't have a lot of credibility.
Planners have to be good storytellers, but before they're good storytellers, they have to be good story listeners. How do you understand what the values are important that have to be reflected in your plan? The only way you can really derive those or elicit those is through being able to listen to stories and to be open to outside input to such an extent that you're willing to risk having your mind changed.
Experts have made it clear that even with improved lower carbon fuels and better mileage standards in cars, it will still be crucial to change land use patterns and improve transportation to meet California's greenhouse gas emission reduction. However, SB 375 doesn't redirect or create new funding sources to support the establishment of sustainable land use policies or projects. Much of the cost and future success in implementing regional land use plans will be borne by cities and counties, a difficult challenge given the serious financial constraints facing California's local governments. Experts believe that follow-up legislation will be needed to strengthen the bill, ease its implementation, and maximize its impact. UC Berkeley's Center for Sustainable California is now tackling this issue by researching what could be done to create a stronger framework of policies and programs at the state, regional, and local levels. Our mission is to encourage efficient land use and transportation while keeping housing affordable for a range of incomes and preserving natural resource areas. The Center for Sustainable California is willing to serve as a resource for cities and regional governments implementing SB 375.